Have you ever wondered why the modern world feels like it was built not for humans? Why everything around us pushes us to buy, to pay, to take loans, to depend? And why one of the simplest things on earth, an ordinary bicycle, almost looks like a protest against the entire system? Because a cyclist is a bad citizen for a consumer economy. A cyclist doesn't buy fuel, doesn't sit in traffic for hours, doesn't take a 7-year car loan, doesn't overpay for insurance, doesn't feed the endless industry of repairs, fines, parking fees, and maintenance. A cyclist is too free. The modern city was built around the car. Look around. Wide highways, multi-level parking garages, car dealerships, gas stations, cameras, toll roads. Since childhood, we've been told a car is success, a car is status, a car is freedom. But what if it's the opposite? What if real freedom is when you don't need a ton of metal just to move around your own city? Think about it. A person on a bicycle almost falls outside the system. They spend less, get sick less often, depend less. And the modern economy survives on dependence. You're supposed to constantly buy, upgrade, repair, pay. The automobile is the perfect mechanism for that. You buy a car, then fuel, then insurance, then taxes, then repairs, then fines, then another car. And so it goes for your entire life. It's not just transportation, it's a financial tether tying a person to the system. And a bicycle. A bicycle is too simple. And the most dangerous thing about bicycles for the system isn't even the fact that they don't need fuel. It's the fact that there's barely anything to break on them in the first place. At most, the tires, the chain, the spokes, the pedals. And fixing them doesn't require much money or expertise. A couple of wrenches and a screwdriver are usually enough. Meanwhile, the car industry is surrounded by theories that vehicles used to be far more durable and reliable than they are today. Many people believe modern cars are intentionally engineered in a way that keeps drivers constantly returning to service centers, repairing, replacing parts, and spending more money just to stay on the road. A bicycle is one of the last things a person can still fully control on their own. And that's exactly what makes it feel out of place in a world built on dependence. While modern electric cars in many ways don't even truly belong to their owners anymore, because they can be remotely controlled, restricted, or updated from afar. You buy a basic electric car, but to unlock its full potential, you often have to pay monthly subscriptions for features that are already physically built into the vehicle. That's exactly why, for decades, cities in many countries were built not for people, but for cars. Old, cozy streets were destroyed, trams disappeared, pedestrian areas were turned into parking lots. That period, when everything was designed around automobiles, is commonly referred to as car-centric urban planning, automobile-oriented development, the motorization era, highway urbanism. It was especially dominant in the United States, Canada, and parts of Western Europe after World War II, roughly between 1950 and 1990. After the war, the automobile became a symbol of success, progress, freedom, the American dream. That's when governments and developers began demolishing old neighborhoods, building massive highways through cities, creating enormous parking lots, widening roads, eliminating tram systems, and spreading neighborhoods farther and farther apart. This was officially called urban renewal, but today, many people refer to that era as the destruction of cities, the freeway era, or the death of walkable cities. Because in many places, cities were literally cut apart by highways. But eventually, that model began to collapse, and cities slowly started reclaiming space from cars and giving it back to pedestrians and cyclists. But that part comes later. Why did the era of car-centric cities begin in the mid to late 20th century? Because pedestrians and cyclists generate very little profit for the massive machine of consumerism. Entire industries make money from our dependence on cars. Oil corporations, car manufacturers, banks, insurance companies, road contractors, the advertising industry. A huge part of the economy revolves around making sure we cannot function without a car. And when someone switches to a bicycle, it's almost like they disconnect themselves from part of that system. Even good health becomes a problem for the economy. Sounds absurd? But look at it closely. A person who moves every day is less likely to suffer from obesity, less likely to develop heart disease, less likely to rely on antidepressants, and spends less money on medication. And illness itself is also a massive market. The modern system profits not only from our desires, it profits from our weaknesses, from stress, from exhaustion, from dependence, from sedentary lifestyles. And then comes the cyclist, a person simply moving through the city. No fuel, no noise, no loans, no endless consumption. The modern city is a system designed to control flows. Where you go, how much you spend, where you work, how much time you lose commuting. The more complicated your life becomes, the more the system profits from you. And a bicycle simplifies life, and that is what makes it dangerous. And there's another thing people rarely talk about. A bicycle is transportation on a human scale. Its speed is limited by the human body itself. Your legs, your breathing, your endurance. You literally feel the space around you. You hear the street, you notice people, you react faster. Because a person on a bicycle instinctively understands one thing. They are vulnerable. There's no illusion of an armored capsule surrounding the body. Meanwhile, the automobile has long surpassed human-scale speed. The pedals are no longer powered by a person, but by an internal combustion engine. Massive energy, tons of metal, extreme speeds. And human beings, biologically, are often incapable of reacting fast enough to sudden danger at those speeds. Modern traffic operates beyond natural human reflexes. 1 second of error, and the consequences become catastrophic. That is why car accidents so often end in tragedy. Of course, nobody is sitting in a secret room saying, "Destroy the cyclists." The system works in far subtler ways. Through infrastructure, through advertising, through culture, through the image of success, through corporate lobbying by the automotive industry. We are slowly conditioned to believe that without a car, we are nobody, that bicycles are for the poor, for children, for weird people, when in reality, a bicycle is one of the most independent inventions humanity has ever created. You control your own movement. You don't depend on fuel, on rising prices, on parking, on loans. And that's exactly why the idea of the bicycle clashes so strangely with the modern consumer model. A cyclist is almost completely autonomous, and the more autonomous a person becomes, the less profit can be extracted from them. So the real question is not whether governments like cyclists. The real question is how interested the modern system truly is in autonomous human beings, people who can live simpler, cheaper, freer, and more independently. Maybe that's why an ordinary bicycle suddenly begins to look like more than just transportation, but a quiet symbol of resistance. While watching this video, you may have had a thought. But wait, many cities actually do have bicycle infrastructure and cycling-friendly conditions. And you'd be right. Countries like Netherlands, especially Amsterdam, and Denmark with Copenhagen are famous examples. At some point, people began to realize that cities needed to be given back to pedestrians and cyclists, because in the long run, car-centric urbanism was becoming economically, socially, and environmentally unsustainable. So, when did the turning point happen? It began roughly during the 1960s and 1970s in Europe, and it accelerated dramatically after the 1973 oil crisis. For the first time on a massive scale, people started realizing, Fuel had become extremely expensive. Endlessly widening roads did not solve traffic. Cities were becoming noisy, dangerous, and unpleasant. Cars were destroying public spaces, and people were losing real urban life. Who helped spark this shift? One of the most important figures was Jane Jacobs. She became a symbol of resistance against the destruction of cities by highways. Her book, The Death and Life of Great American Cities, literally transformed modern urban planning. Her message was simple: a city should be built for people, not for cars. What is this modern movement called today? Now, it's often described as human-centered cities, walkable cities, bike urbanism, people-first urban planning. The core idea is simple: a city should serve human beings, not just automobiles. The most dramatic visual transformation happened in Europe. Meanwhile, the United States still remains heavily car-dependent, and the transition toward pedestrian-oriented cities has been far more difficult. The most successful examples of rejecting car-centric urbanism can be seen in Europe, especially in Amsterdam and Copenhagen. Back in the 1970s, those cities were also overwhelmed by cars. But then public opinion began to shift. Authorities gradually started removing major roads and oversized traffic lanes, replacing them with green areas, public squares, parks, and bicycle infrastructure. At the same time, car taxes increased, fuel prices surged, and naturally, more people began switching to bicycles. That became the foundation of modern cycling culture in Europe. There are countless photographs showing cities before and after they were returned to people. Today, many northwestern European countries provide exceptional conditions for cyclists. Dedicated bicycle lanes and traffic lights, massive bicycle parking facilities, safer intersections, priority for cyclists in traffic. Even during winter, the infrastructure continues to function. While cars sit in traffic jams, people calmly ride past on bicycles. And the strangest part is, there, it looks completely normal. No status symbols, no showing off, no worship of cars. A minister, a businessman, a student, all of them can simply ride a bicycle.